Hey everyone, I thought I'd do a video about all of the talks and all the miscellaneous stuff that I can remember from Runefest, as much information as I can think of. I'm going to start out with the 2012 talk given by Mod Mark, because there was so much new stuff that he talked about in there. Of course, the stuff that he talked about isn't necessarily coming into RuneScape. These are just ideas that he really liked and would love to add. But yeah, definitely not 100% sure. So one thing that is almost definitely going to happen though is a revamp of how armor looks. So you know how currently all the like bronze, iron, steel, myth, black, addy, rune, all those armors, they all look exactly the same, just different colors. Though they're going to change it so that they all have their own individual look. And they showed some previews of it, and they look really, really good, like amazing. I think that he also said that they're going to, well, I know he said they're going to redo Barrows and Dragon, but I believe he said they're also going to slightly improve Torva and the other Nex armors, because they don't want to just leave them out and have like Rune look better than them. Another update that he wanted is player-owned ports. So that would be sort of like player-owned houses mixed with miscellanea. You'd be able to buy a port and hire a captain and have them staff a crew, and they'd go out and find resources for you. And you could use those resources to make really high-level things, like level 85 to 99. So yeah, that would be pretty cool. It'd be nice to get some really high level armor in the game. So yeah, another thing that would happen later in 2012 would be the Olympics. The image that he showed was a troll shot putting a gnome in a cauldron. I don't really know where he got that, but that could be sort of funny. I don't know how that would work, if it would just be for a couple weeks in the summer, or if they'd have it as a permanent competition. One of the sort of weirdest but sort of coolest updates would be that he mentioned would be a Calphite King and a Queen Black Dragon. The acronyms for those would be KK and QBD, which is sort of odd. But yeah, those have been suggested for ages now, so it would be sort of cool to get those. And the concept art that they showed was pretty sick as well. The Queen Black Dragon would be this ridiculously huge dragon that sort of Mod Mark mentioned that it would be sort of like it had been in a cave, but it just kept growing, and then it got stuck in the cave, and it was just down there for ages, just being huge and scary and all that. Oh, and he also mentioned another addition to fight caves, so something even harder than Jad in there, and in order to get into or in order to be able to try and fight it, you'd have to sacrifice a fire cape or get rid of it in some way. I personally would love that. That would be really cool. Jad is way too easy now with all the new stuff. So yeah, I really hope they do that one. He also mentioned improving Bounty Hunter, but the suggestion that he gave didn't really sound anything like the previous Bounty Hunter to me. It would be pretty much a completely new minigame, but it still would be really good as a new minigame. He suggested a minigame where one person gets a ridiculously powerful weapon, and then everyone else has to try and kill him. So, I think he said it would be a safe minigame, which is another reason why it's nothing like Bounty Hunter, really. But yeah, I think that would be a lot of fun, but it would have to be an incredibly powerful weapon to be any good. And let's see. Just, I think that's all for the 2012 updates. some miscellaneous stuff. In the Secrets of the Masharat session with Paul and Andrew, they mentioned that Karshai, who was one of the Masharat who wasn't at the ritual, will be featured, or at least talked about more in upcoming quests, because since he missed the ritual, he must be imprisoned or he has some other way of gaining lots of power. So yeah, that could be interesting. They also said there would be more on Slisk, or Slisky. I'm not quite sure how it's pronounced. Since he's finally been shown, and he sort of wants to make the player into Barrow's brother. And they also said that the Dragonkin will be the main focus of the upcoming Masharat related quests, since they're now the main enemy in RuneScape, and there are currently no plans to bring back the Stone of Joss, although they aren't ruling it out completely. So that's sort of good, I guess. Although I don't know, the Dragonkin don't seem all that interesting to me anymore, because they already pretty much said that we're going to use Bane ammo to fight them, so I hope they put in some nice twist to that. Let's see. They also confirmed that the Stone of Joss leaves a residue in locations that it's been at, so they confirmed that it was definitely in Fist of Gothics, which I think we already knew since there was the image of it on the floor in the middle there. It was in Tears of Gothics. It obviously was in the Glacier's Cave, Tormented Demons area, and it those locations, I think Paul said, so those are definitely where it was. But there was another jmod there who I talked to afterwards who said that it might have also been in the Dayalt mines in Mireditch, but we don't really have much information on what that ore in there does, so I guess we'll see that later in some more of the Dark Mire quests, or Mireke. Let's see. Oh yeah, they were also talking in the Secrets of the Masharat about the cutscenes and how they designed Saradomin, since that's the first god they've shown in RuneScape, I believe. And they confirmed around that time that the 3 people in the Mime Random event, dressed in red, green, and blue, are the gods, Gothics and Sarah. So that's interesting to have that confirmed, I guess. Let's see. There was also, well, I guess this isn't as interesting because if you're not there to see it, it's not as interesting, but they designed the Dominion Tower boss based on player feedback. So they had a concept artist drawing it out right there, and then they had someone model it during another session. And I didn't go to the audio one, but evidently they did the audio in another session as well. So that's pretty cool, a player design boss, pretty much. Let's see, there was also the Runefest items that they gave out, the Runefest hood, the sock mask, and then the controversial golden scythe, which I was very, very, very lucky to get. Only the first 25 people who completed the DeathCon event managed to get one, but there was no prior knowledge of that, so I was just really lucky that I was in a group that finished early, and yeah, went and handed it in. Someone, I think they posted on my YouTube channel and said that they were behind me in line to hand in their questionnaire thing, and they didn't get one, so I might have been one of the very last people to get one. But yeah, it's not useful or anything, so it just looks alright. So, I don't know. I don't really support having only 25 people get it. That seems a bit extreme, especially since we didn't really know anything was going to be awarded for that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. There were a bunch of other sessions, and there was a lot of fun stuff, but I can't remember anything else at the moment. if other stuff comes back to me, I'll post it in the description of this video. But yeah, that's about it. Looks like there should be some really cool updates coming up. I can't believe I forgot that. They're going to do a huge combat revamp. I already mentioned that in the new Slayer dungeon, they're going to give magic armor that has melee defense. So or did I mention that? I'm not sure. But yeah, there's a new Slayer dungeon coming out in November that'll have magic armor that gives melee defense, and so yeah, they're going to be doing that with a lot of other things, I believe, because it makes sense to have magic armor with melee defense, because magic is supposed to be good against melee. And they're also going to add other things, like hotkey effects, pretty much like special attacks, but not based on your weapon. It'll be based on your levels. So like, if you're 99 defense, maybe it'll be like 10 seconds of complete invincibility against all damage, and then it'll have like a minute cooldown or something. I mean, it wouldn't be that overpowered, but yeah, stuff like that. Just little effects that you couldn't do with cooldowns. I think it sounds a bit like WoW, but it still would be pretty good. They also want to add life point bonuses to all armors and get rid of the absorption, because absorption is sort of silly. It just really doesn't do very much. So yeah, they'd have life points for all armors. Next armors, I assume, would still be the best, since they're still the highest level, so don't go dumping all your next armors because of that. But yeah, that could be pretty cool. Hopefully they'll rebalance food and a lot of monsters so that they do the correct amounts of damage. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Can't think of anything else. I'm glad I remembered to mention that combat thing, since that's a huge update. But yeah, that's about it. I'll post anything I found in the description if I think of anything else. Yeah. So lots of good updates.